We're about to find out. Happy, a little bit of a peek in. Could have been dangerous because I think Whitmer was looking down towards the slope then, but he didn't get taken out, and instead just everything seems to grind to a halt as everyone's a little bit worried about what's coming next. There is a smoke on the sidewalk, and Whitmer looking to make some noise, actually making quite a little noise, drawing a third man in here. He's still alive and eventually goes down to Devil now. Can they use that to anything? It seems like they're a bit slow out into the A bomb side, and that might cause a rotation back from Envy. Kenny picking up a kill on Def, who did take down Apex. There's Happy dropping the bomb. Android taking a kill on Happy, and now it's a 2 versus 3.
Well, Kenny's been spotted, so the game is up. He has to hope that he's going to be able to pick off Android, who's behind Electric Box dancing. He's got the help of Devil, and NBK with the long lurk is going to be coming in through A main with the backstab. So now, but Sanks sees it coming. Sanks with the perfect timing, walks back, and now he has a P2K to work with. That one-shot headshot potential is there. Devil's going to have to be careful.
Yeah, and I wish they'd put Sanks in first. Android is very low. There's the headshot, and there's another one. Triple for Sanks. And it will be compLexity picking up the pistol round in spite of what looked like a bit of a slow start. I mean, Whitmer actually does a pretty good job. You know, he puts the smoke down, he stays in the B bomb side. It's no more than like 8 seconds, but it did pull 3 people in there. The rest of the push from compLexity, from our point of view, looked a little bit slow, but then they made up for it anyway with pure headshots. So really good stuff there. Gonna give them a bit of a good start.
Solid, exactly. I mean, now we're going to see classic Envy here. They're not going to waste any time. They go straight for the 4 spy pistols, Kevlar, some nades to work with as well. And Happy goes aggressive, just charges up. Not going to get the job done, though. Def and Whitmer shut down that push. And so Envy, they lose 2 players for free. Nothing there traded back from compLexity. So this situation just completely favors compLexity now. They have the superior firepower and a 2-man advantage. Still have to say, I mean, I am a little... I'm impressed with the aim that was brought out in the pistol fight there, in the pistol round from compLexity. Sanks, yeah, got the kills, but Android also survived and put a lot of pressure on Envy that allowed Sanks to actually get some time in to work with.
I like the dedication from Whitmer in that round. It looked like Def was caught out a little bit, but Whitmer just comes flying off the railing, and he's going to pick up Kenny as well. So now they have the bomb side. The bomb's quite far away, though, so see, it looks like they're actually bringing it into the A bomb side instead. So once again, they're using Whitmer as just a little bit of bait in the B bomb side. And MBK, really powerful shot there. Going to be taking one down. Surreal has got to be careful. He's very low on health, and Sanks hiding under the side of the smoke here. Should be hard for MBK to win the round, but he picks up Sanks anyway. And now it is a 1-on-1, sorry, and he has a Molotov in his hand, Surreal, and that might just seal the deal. MBK, he doesn't have time to wait for the Molotov to go out, so, and obviously he can't really defuse in it. So if Surreal gets that Molotov in, things are going to go very bad indeed. He's going to tap it once. Surreal walking in and looking for it, puts out a bit of a shot, and I think time is up here for NBK. He simply won't be able to win the round, but he's done a lot of damage already, getting a triple, and that's definitely good news. Trying for the quad. Surreal just needs to live through this round, I think. Not going to be able to. So, very expensive round here for compLexity.
Yeah, that's huge. The fact that NBK gets out of there with Kevlar and an AK as well. Really curious to see what's going through compLexity's mind at that point, because they've done they've shut down the aggressive push into upper halls. They have that 2-man advantage. It's just that MBK comes through with the individual pressure, the individual play that makes it expensive in the end for compLexity. Really, they had a bunch of MAC-10s and 2 AKs, so they lose one of the AKs. They have to rebuy the MAC-10 players, though. It's not the end of the world. You can see them going straight up to nades right now. So not, it still just feels very touch and go, but that's the kind of power that Envy have, is that even NBK can step in with the Deagle and almost wreck your team single-handed.
They've chosen the right bomb site, which is to say the one where the AK-47 is not currently stacked up. I think they forgot about Devil for a moment, and he's going to be able to take out Whitmer, looking for a bit more, but Surreal will survive, which is very important here. Now finally MBK's shown up, and he's going to take out Sanks immediately. The bomb is down, so they need to move quick here, Envy, and it looks like that's exactly what they're doing, charging onto the bomb site. Kenny already picking up the 1 kill. Now it's a 2-on-3. Yeah,
no Kevlar. They're going to have to be taking these fights together as a unit. Somehow Apex does not follow it up. Android is going to pick up that kill on him, and it's all on NBK now, hoping to get lucky through the smoke. He will pick off Def, but it's still a it's a 1v1. And Android's got control of lower. No kit picked up here for NBK either, means he really just doesn't have a whole lot of time to work with. And so it might be that he just wants to back off and hold on to the AK for the next round, and it looks like that's going to be the game plan here. Once again, NBK, he's just really trying to carry this AK for as long as he can, because he knows that Android has the huge advantage in this scenario. There's no way for him to win the clutch. So that's 2 clutch rounds that Envy, haven't been able to get to go their way. large part due to NBK, you know, doing the best that he can, but compLexity is getting close. They're still just, it's like it looks close in the 1v1, but at the end of the day, that 1v1 shouldn't be lost by compLexity with the advantage of the bomb being planted and the fact that it's a 50-50 guess if he's lower or upper, and no kit for NBK. Like, all these things kind of stack up to make you think, right, it could go EnVyUs' way, but it would be a massive clutch if NBK actually managed to pull it off.
Now it gets interesting because they have rifles on the EnVy side, so we'll see if compLexity can deal with that. I mean, sometimes if you're doing sort of badly against pistols, you could do even worse against rifles, but it's not always the case. Sometimes you just, you know, end up struggling a little bit for no good reason. That looked like that shot was very close to connecting to Kenny.
Yeah, not able to. Kenny kind of, you know, toying with him, actually. Just standing out in the open, looking for shots through the smoke. That's a bit risky business. But compLexity, they just set up at a default. Instead of going for like the more common, I guess like a couple of the European teams, they favor putting 3 towards alley and then 1 in main, 1 towards pop dog. compLexity seemed like they want to have 2 over by main just to, I guess, double up on the defense there. But compLexity right now, it does look like they're kind of just poking around on the map. They haven't seen any kind of aggressive push coming out towards B, and so Def is going to start moving forward to clear out that part of the map, get that control. And the rest of his teammates haven't found anything either. So this is going to have to come down to just a straight execute on compLexity's part. EnVyUs aren't giving them anything to work with here.
It looked like compLexity they seem to be very worried that someone from EnVy is going to sneak in somewhere, so they're really playing this one slowly. I mean, as slow as being down to 35 seconds, now bringing the bomb into white holes, which looks like they may end up in the B bomb site. Surreal, though, is sneaking out down at Ivy, and if he can open up this part of the map, he's making a lot of noise already. If he makes it down to the back here without going down, that's going to be huge. Now, a lot of the attention is going to be drawn this way, and Surreal picking up that one shot on Kenny is absolutely huge. Now they need to win this fight in the B bomb site, otherwise it's not going to work out. Devil showing up, they line up for him, and look at the spray coming through, triple kill. Such a nice setup for compLexity. I mean, Surreal did a really good job, but when you don't win the actual fight in the bomb side, it really doesn't matter. That's
some confidence in your players, though, from EnVy's point of view. And then this is perfect timing from Devil. He steps out, he realizes Happy is the perfect bait. Happy's drawing the eyes of everybody there because they obviously have to remove Happy before they can get the bomb down. And he just steps wide and annihilates compLexity. But what I like to see there from EnVy is just faith that they have in their players to get the job done. They don't even flinch. Sure, the guy at Alley's making a lot of noise, but that still means that EnVy, they keep the 3 on A and the 2 on B, and they just sit that way. They're like, right, we don't actually have anything to go off of. So whoever the defense, whichever defense is going to get hit here, you guys just have to get the job done.
Devil getting caught a little bit off guard then, but Happy doing a fine job up here, already getting the double, and that's the triple. He's also dropped the bomb down in the site, which means Sanks, who's got a triple kill of his own, which is kind of, you know, remarkable considering the amount of equipment they had going into it. Still will be EnVy's round, and they make it 3-2.
Yeah, a lot of money, actually. These rounds are much closer than you would think. You'd expect in an anti-eco round like that to just, you know, completely shut down compLexity. EnVyUs, it's their big time to start building that bank. Instead, they have to rebuy 3 rifles, and they actually go for the straight AWP. So they're going for the double AWP setup, and it looks like it's going to be Happy and Kenny. Kenny on the A site, Happy on the B site, and Happy taking it to upper halls as well. So if compLexity continue to try and, you know, get control of upper halls, he's going to be there with an aggressive position to try and go for a pick. We'll see. I mean, Sanks is kind of hanging around over there, but it's towards A main. Looks like compLexity are just going to be setting up a kind of a smoke strategy onto the A site, and then just, yeah, powering out. Thought for a second they might try and fake, but it's straight out onto A.
Classic setup to try and get the bomb plant in, and that grenade's going to land very close. Great idea for Apex here. Gets overrun by Def, though. That's a bit unfortunate. Happy taking a time, and actually it's going to be Devil to show up and help him out with that kill. Kenny missing a shot for no reason, and that puts us in a 2-on-3. Sanks doing a lot of damage here. Looked like he could have got the kill on MBK. Android going to be zoned out, and the bomb will obviously be defused here. I don't think Android can do anything to stop that. Still a very good round here. If they could have got MBK killed as well, that would have been truly epic, but that's not going to happen, and it will be 3-3. But, you know, getting a bomb plant, getting 2 kills, definitely a very good job.
He didn't make it to pick up the op, though. That's going to be expensive. MBK, he's going to have to spend a lot of money to rebuy it, and they actually do make the decision. It's an active decision here for EnVy to throw down and get both AWPs back up and running. Despite Kenny missing a shot, I mean, well, Kenny is capable of waking up at any point in time. Bit surprised that Happy allowed for the push to come through the smoker connector there. That he was clearly there to back his mate up who was spraying onto the site. How did that guy actually get in there to get that kill? That was definitely a little unclear.
Yeah, and also EnVy, I mean, even the fact that they were unable to stop the bomb plant, it's got to be a bit frustrating, right? Because they know that that's what's happening, and I think the spray from Happy and the grenade that he was tossing in there was sort of meant to stop the plant even. That's obviously what you want to do at that point in time. Whitmer has his AWPs. That's going to be interesting to see if he could best either Kenny or Happy with it. I'm definitely curious if that's going to be a real thing. But so far, another round from compLexity where they just set up to try and deal with any kind of aggressive move coming out of EnVy.
Oh, is Surreal going to spot it? Yeah, there's the shot. Beautiful shot there from Kenny. Quick flick. Surreal trying to jump over the smoke to get some eyes over on Ali. See if he can spot somebody, but Kenny's going to be able to react quick enough to pick up that kill. And now it's on to Def. He's got that smoke blocking off the lower halls, but Devil is the one crouched behind Schools this time. Horrible time for Devil to peek. He actually just gets caught with a nade in his hand, and so they managed to bring it back to a 4-on-4, and that could prompt a rotation towards B, except that you still have two guys hanging out towards A main for compLexity. Doesn't look like they want to follow up on Def. Instead, they're going to try and make a play for A.
Good shot from Whitmer there to take one down. He sees the feet of a second player, but the grenade from Kenny going to land right behind him, and that will end up dropping him. Kenny scoped up for a moment there, looking for the kill. No scope, not quite going to connect, but that flick will. Android going to be going down and Happy to pick up the last one. So a good round for EnVy, only losing 2 players, and compLexity. I feel like they could have got more out of that round.
I'm not a fan of this B setup now, though. They've used that Spools position way too much. You can see Def, he doesn't even check the other spots. He comes right out and looks straight at Spools. Because Happy sat there, Devil's used it. So, I mean, like, they need to start showing a bit of variety in how they're holding on that B site, EnVy, or compLexity will be able to adapt and start taking advantage of it. So, I mean, obviously, kind of terrible timing there for Devil as well. I mean, caught with a nade in your hand, well, you kind of just shake your head, right? Because a second later, or a second earlier, and things work out. But yeah, they need to actually start being a little bit more careful with how they're setting up on that B side, I think.
Wall of smokes going up again, just like in the previous round. Actually, a lot of smokes, but instead of running out main, they're all going to rotate back towards Ivy, and they get the first kill there, MBK. But Whitmer with the refrag, and Kenny already been tagged in the face with one of those Tech 9s. He's going to go down. It's a double kill for Whitmer, and then Sanks coming through. Great round from compLexity. I really love this execute here. And Devil could have very nearly gone down. The bomb has been planted. It will be EnVy to win the round, but that's a massive success.
And the design of this round was compLexity saying, right, Kenny, if you're going to play Ali, if we put 5 guys running at you with Tech 9s, you may get 1, but we'll run you over, and then we can press forward onto the site. They weren't expecting MBK to be there. And I don't think MBK, when he comes around that corner, he's like, great, they're already on top of me, I'm dead. Like,
well, yeah, but NBK had the time. He could have just fallen back and put up a Molotov or anything like that. I think that's just one of those things where I think EnVy feel like we are going to win this map. And so I think NBK is thinking, let me just try and get a bunch of kills here. You know, it'll be funny if nothing else. Which could be dangerous. They could have lost that round.
Yeah, it's costing them a lot as far as money is concerned right now. I mean, EnVy, they aren't running away with a huge bank. They're definitely, it's like compLexity are doing a good job of making these rounds close, and so they're keeping EnVyUs' economy under control. If compLexity win a round, they can definitely turn things around for them. So 3-5, compLexity still trying to catch up, and it's going to be a quick play here out onto main. Surreal is going to find NBK. NBK wins the duel. Missed shot coming in, but Apex will find one, and it's a 2-for-1 trade so far. EnVy still in the lead.
Sanks need to come up with something big here. The bomb is being planted, but they're a man down, and Whitmer is practically dead as well. He's in main, which is so easy for them to deal with if the bomb is being defused. Then he's not going to be a threat any longer, so we'll see Def coming through close range, but can't get Kenny killed. So now is Sanks alone in the bomb site with a little bit of backup from Whitmer here. Flick not quite going to connect. Kenny will be going down, and so will Whitmer. Now it's a 1-on-2, and Sanks looking for the spray. He's going to pick up one kill there on 13 health and jumping around the corner. Devil just trying to hunt for him here. Grenade going to ring out as well. Runs back into it, but should be just enough time, I think, for the defuse here. Devil very, very close to it. And there it is. It actually ticks over. That's so scary when you hear that sound. But that's, I mean, these are close rounds. It seems like compLexity are all the time just on the edge, but it doesn't change the fact that this is EnVy winning 6 rounds in a row.
Finally, EnVy get a clutch to go their way. I think that's the big thing here. Is that I mean, beginning of this half, it was NBK battling in the first several rounds where he wasn't able to get that clutch going. They were just like 1v1 situations, never went their way. This time, Devil just barely plays it. Sanks trying to get clever there with that HE. Not sure if that was the best call. I mean, it's creative, but
Yeah,
right?
it's, I mean, I think he was being hunted as well. It is hard to say what exactly was the best move there. Maybe if you could have slowed him down a second or something like that, that could have made a difference. Yeah. Envy still being relatively passive here. They're not, I mean, you think about it, they have won 6 rounds in a row, so why switch up what seems to be... It is working, even if it's expensive, right? I mean, if you could play... If they can win the sort of the all 12 rounds here that they can get on the second half by losing 3 members per round, that's great, you know. Just keep doing that.
They'll be fine with that, as long as they can save the ops, right? I don't think that they were able to save the op last time. Well, obviously, there was only one guy surviving the round, so they don't actually go for the double op. So it seems like Envy are like, right, okay, we've tried it. Didn't really pan out. We didn't really completely shut things down, so we'll just give Kenny, our opper, his gun, and then Happy can go back to rifling. They have changed up the setup on B, so I like that. For Envy right now, they aren't holding necessarily very close or on spools. But it's going to be another A execute coming out here for compLexity, it looks like. Just straight out through A main. They're getting close every time. If it's coming down to clutch situations, might as well just keep rinsing and repeating. And somehow Apex gets a double spray as they come out through A main. NBK hasn't even seen anybody yet.
Kenny still's down here, and I think the problem is compLexity. They seem to be able to get down and get the bomb plant down, but winning the alpha plant is not really working out for them. Some truly mad spray coming out of Devil, and it's pretty much ineffective. But they're still going to win the round there. Double kill for Apex and double for NBK. That's going to be 7 rounds in a row for Envy.
And we're going to get it from Apex's perspective here. He catches them lined up basically as they come out through A main. Just barely picks up that second kill. That's still, I mean, there was definitely a little bit of hesitation there on compLexity's part as far as like the first man out. The other 2 weren't there for a second, and that allowed Apex to pick up that first kill. But they get the trade. It's just, yeah, holding on to these afterplant scenarios, EnVyUs are just not letting them get comfortable, not letting them have a second to breathe. In that round, it's, you know, Devil, he just goes in spraying, but he's really just trying to keep that pressure up on compLexity the entire time. Now, well, I mean, compLexity, is it going to be a fast day split? It might be. They're thinking about trying to clear it out. Happy has that off now. Might have picked it up from, no, yeah, it sank. So picked it up from compLexity in the last round. It looks like that's the trade. And Happy tries to just go for the aggressive peek. Gets punished by Surreal.
That was a good AK shot, because they were lined up for a moment there. Could have been dangerous. They almost immediately rotate Apex in here, but it seems like compLexity have decided it is a good idea to go for this bomb side. And again, it is a pretty good idea. If they can win the fight, they have to do that much. Whitmer putting out a Molotov and then falling back there, doesn't really want to run through. It looked like they were trying to commit to it for a moment there. Just ticking past the minute mark, the smoke goes up, but they can still just jump through that. I think that's not going to be the most effective smoke to try and stop a push, but compLexity are really exhibiting, I fear, a lot of hesitation right now.
They've got a lot of patience, you know, they're just sitting. And well, now the push begins. Once the smoke's clear, HE's Incendiaries go sailing out. Devil, once again, it's fools. He's gonna pick up 2 kills this time. Apex watches his high ground and gets another 2. And just like that, compLexity, I mean, they need to be a bit more effective. Whitmer steps in, gets the headshot on Apex. So he's gonna turn it into that 1v2, but the bomb is committed to the B side. It's out in front of the train here, in front of the lower entrance. He doesn't realize that nobody is actually watching this angle now, but there is Kenny in place to stop him from actually getting across. Great shoulder peek there from Whitmer. Baits out the shot, realizes that Kenny could be holding the angle. He's doing the best that he can here to win this clutch, but he's only got 15 seconds left, and NBK is making noise on the bomb train itself. He realizes that somebody's close, and that's going to force him out into the open. Kenny will shut him down, and that's an 8th round picked up for EnVyUs.
I kind of like how sort of, I think Whitmer is playing sort of fairly crisp when he's hitting these shots. I think they seem to be on point. I'm wondering if they shouldn't try and go for more openings with him with the AWP. Try and see if they can't have him lurk a kill somewhere and just use that as a way to get into a round. 8 rounds straight here for the Envy team. compLexity looked like they had the opening. They got their first kill in that round. They managed to sort of get the grenades into the bomb site, but they couldn't really follow up on them. It's taken a long time after they put in the initial grenades.
This is nasty. Devil, I mean, every time you have this smoke go down in upper halls, that's what compLexity are waiting on right now. There's a risk that a CT can be playing like this on the edge of the smoke. Devil's really committed to it now. I mean, this is almost a one-and-done situation. If there's 2 guys that come around that corner, he's not going to make it out in one piece. And yeah, there's the opening. And compLexity, they're all here, so they can just try and play off this. They're going to rush right out onto that lower site. Def is going to be able to sneak onto the site and get the bomb down with the help of Android. But all rotating coming in here from EnVyUs, and Apex gets in position to actually stop Android from getting onto the site. Def is there to shut it down, and Happy holding up close to Surreal. Yeah, compLexity, they saw the opening and they tried to take it.
Yeah, and it wasn't even necessarily a bad idea. I mean, Happy was a bit out of position, and I mean, when you catch one guy alone that far up, if there were two people holding on B, then surely the other person would also be there for that kind of a setup. So it's not so illogical to assume that there's not going to be anyone else, but Happy came back just in time to pick up the one kill, and then it sort of spiraled out of control. And compLexity, they need to dig a little bit deeper to get a couple of more rounds in here. And now, instead, EnVy are actually changing up the pace on them. You could see Happy pushing aggressive into white holes. Is he going to go and check Pop Dog? He will be rewarded if he does. Widmer is right on the end. Did he hear him dropping down? I don't think he did. That's going to be, oh, a brutal flick there coming out of Kenny to take down Def, and now they are kind of being shut down.
They're just losing to picks at this point, and they realize they've been backstabbed. Devil's going to work his way back into T-spawn. He hears them stepping. Surreal runs into him with a knife. Devil has to realize that a second man is there. Flash goes out, and he actually gets himself flashed. This is just getting awkward. Devil, through the smoke, is going to find Android, who's trying to rush him down, but that was definitely a little bit too close. Nice flick from Kenny. He just shuts down Def, who once again jumping in the air. You really just can't take those kinds of risks versus an opera like Kenny. He's too fast. If he just spots you for a split second, boom, he'll get that shot.
Now, I feel like I haven't been paying properly attention to the scoreboard, because if you look at it, Sanks is at 12 right now, but it's actually Devil top fragging at 18. So doing a pretty reasonable job right now. MBK at 14 as well, and then 10 for the rest of EnVy. So, you know, he's been getting a lot of criticism, and I think rightfully so. But I mean, it's got to take something to get him back into the game, and maybe sort of one good map here could help out a little bit with his sort of personal form.
Just been told that right now he's sitting at 126 ADR as well. So I mean, not only is he doing getting the kills, he's just having a high impact in every round right now. At least getting a kill while doing as much damage as would get you a kill per round.
Right, and I think yesterday we were when we were on one of the maps yesterday, he had something like 20 ADR in like the first half. So that's a pretty good little improvement there for him. Kenny deciding it is not worth it to fight three people like that on long, so just tries to escape back around the corner. It looks like they are trying to get out Ivy. Surreal taking a couple of shots through Def on the other side. And Kenny playing close with the AWP, gonna pick up that kill. Second one as well, Surreal trying to make it through. And that leaves Android alone to go down to NBK. So, I mean, you've got to give it to compLexity in the sense that they are trying to vary their attack. They're really trying a bunch of different things here. EnVy are just looking rock solid on the CT side right now.
That's just an unforced error, really. I mean, that smoke goes down and it's not perfect. It's not. That was a compLexity smoke that went down to try and block Kenny off, and you can get it so that it'll block that tunnel off. It hugged the wall too close.
Yeah.
So you had a gap to abuse.
It's true, but I think they were thinking that Kenny had fallen back to the next corner, so they weren't expecting him to play around the edge of it. So, I mean, right now it just feels like EnVy are just on a slightly different level, right? Which, I mean, if you just look at the players that are involved here, that is what you should expect, right? That's not outside of anything normal here. Molotov, but a quick smoke to counter it. Now, are they going to make their way through? Devil's had some pretty good triples over here, and he's going to pick up one kill, turning around and running right into Sanks. We'll take him out. Happy jumping through, getting the one kill, and the bomb has gone down. Actually, that was Kenny stealing Happy's kill with the grenade. That's just bad mannered, isn't it? Def trying to see if he could cancel the defuse, but he's not going to be successful. It will be 12-3. EnVy winning 12 rounds in a row.
Yeah, that's the complete and utter lockdown. That's like OG EnVy right there. When they just dominated on the CT side of every map, well, you just got a bit of a show as to what they're capable of. compLexity, they have a lot to think about, but now they get to go over toward that CT side. We'll see how the setup fares for them and how EnVy are going to carry this when they're on the T side, when they're on the offense. So we'll find out how that plays out after this break. Welcome back from the break, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to remind you before we get into this second half to download Team Stream. It's the new Bleacher Report app that has just come out. You can follow all your esports streams, all the latest ELEAGUE and esports news. It's all there on that app, so be sure to go check that out. But now we get to see if compLexity can set up that solid defense, the one that we just saw EnVyUs here on this first half.
Yeah, I mean, when you win 12 rounds in a row, you're allowed to feel a little bit good. You're allowed to feel like something's going perfectly, actually. So I have no idea what's going to happen. And we do see Devil with a very good performance, quite a bit above his usual level. Sanks was playing well for compLexity yesterday. So I'm guessing he's just the guy to look out for right now. And as Thorin was saying, he's the only name that he recognizes on the team. So maybe there's a reason for that. Now, we'll see if they could do a little bit more compLexity. The problem is when you're this far behind, you have one chance, right? Yeah. If you don't win the pistol round, then you're definitely going to be out of the map.
You have so much, yeah, exactly. You have the pressure as the underdog already on top of you, and then, well, the first half was a catastrophe. So you have to try and find a way back from that. And look at that, Happy. I mean, Happy, he's trying to sell a little bit of a fake, just showing himself at A main to keep compLexity guessing. But compLexity have gone for a bit of a catch-all approach here. Two guys holding solid on the B site, with the third one holding in connector, who can break either way very quickly. So when they actually get the info that the bomb is making its way towards B, compLexity should be able to put up a pretty good fight.
Whitmer staying alive, which is definitely important. There are two smokes on the EnVy team, which is a bit of an indication that we might be seeing more of a structured play coming out. Could be for either bomb side. It's not a dead giveaway when you only have two smokes like this. So we'll see how they're going to end up using them. No Molotov, so not going to be any tricky after plant scenario like this. They're going to put one of the Molotovs, or one of the smokes down on the sidewalk, and Def looking for the shot. Yeah, that would have been great. They could have canceled the bomb plant. Sanks helping out and probably saving Def at least for a moment. The bomb does go down, and MBK will get the refrag.
They're getting pinned down on that side, though, and they're starting to press forward. compLexity trying to go for the retake. One-for-one trade. Kenny will find Whitmer in the end. NBK peeks, tries to get the info, and now it's all on Happy, lurking his way through connector, but they see it coming from a mile away. Android, he just knows when somebody is looking for the backstab. 3 kills for him in the pistol round, but that was a solid play. I mean, obviously, it's Happy. It's almost like old Get Right status, right? You know, where it's just like, hey, you don't know where Get Right is? Look behind you. Like, it's the same thing with Happy, right? It's just like, hey, well, he's not always a part of the big push. His whole thing is about lurking. And so just check another unlikely angle, and you'll probably find him coming from there.
Now, you say lurking, Semler. I would have chosen a different name for his role.
For Happy?
Baiting, obviously.
Baiting, yeah, I know. Baiting actually works as well. I mean, that's the thing with Happy.
Jokes.
Oh, yeah.
We had a disconnect, I think, so probably gonna be restarting the round, unless we're trying to play 4 versus 5. Since no one died and no one engaged each other, you know, it's pretty easy call to restart the round. Shouldn't be much of an issue.
Oh, this isn't easy, right?
Well, yeah. No, we do always make these jokes about Happy, but from the outside, I feel like you have to have a really strong understanding internally in the team that this is how we're going to play. You know, sometimes you will end up in a situation where you kind of end up sacrificing yourself, and Happy then turns up and gets, you know, a bunch of kills. For me, it'd be infuriating unless I had like I said, like a very sort of pre-made agreement that that's how it works.
I think the issue with EnVy, right, is just that, yeah, okay, you're putting a lot of faith in Happy, but it feels like a lot of the time when he is in those kinds of situations, he's not coming through, right? It's like a 1v2 or 1v3, like really tough odds. And this isn't, you know, this isn't the beginning, the heyday of CS, or at least like the very beginning of CSGO, where Nip just had a huge lead and Helium, bro, I found Devil's problem.
Oh, good job, Helium. That's, yeah, playing with a Call of Duty Black Ops mouse. That is definitely not going to work, is it? Look at that.
Call of Duty is pretty big in France.
Yeah, I know.
They have some good Call of Duty teams, from what I hear.
I've seen YouTube videos of Call of Duty players shouting at each other in French.
It's just, remember when we used to do ESWC, where it was like, the hype coming from that Call of Duty audience was nuts.
Yeah, they get into it, for sure. I mean, I still think the best way it's been put was by, you know, YNK saying there is a fine line between you baiting and good teamwork, right? So I think, of course you have to be able to play to sort of sacrifice yourself and then knowing that your team will make up for it. It just doesn't always, it seems like it's hard to identify when you're watching Envy that is what's happening. It seems like some of the time it's like only Happy knows that we're doing teamwork, and then is it really teamwork? That kind of a thing. I'm not always sure, but it's an interesting topic, and it's one that's been sort of relevant for a long time with Envy. We will see how this continues. They are very far ahead, but compLexity did win the pistol round. We'll get back right after a break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are just about to be ready with the second half here. We did have compLexity just winning the pistol round. They did win the pistol round on the first half. Normally that means you're setting yourself up for a very good game, but it hasn't quite been the case because Envy did win 12 rounds in a row in the first half. In case you missed that, kind of a shocking comeback.
In case you're wondering why we have this pause, we had a bit of a Steam logon error, and unfortunately verify cache was hit. And so that can take just as long as it feels like taking. So we could be here for a little bit, still waiting. But just to clear things up, just make sure you guys understand why we have a bit of a break here halfway through the map. I mean, compLexity are fairly solid right now so far on the pistols, like, right? They get the clutch on the first pistol half, on the first half pistol rather. They pick that up, they get the 3 rounds, and then nothing after that.
Yeah, and surprisingly, what stopped them in large part was Devil here, you know, picking up, what, 18 kills or something in the first half, sort of outperforming his own average by some distance. And compLexity did try a lot of different strategies. You know, they had some cool rushes going down Ivy, they had some different splits going on, a lot of smoke. I think the only one that they sort of kept running repeatedly was that smoke round to the A-bomb side, where they tried the wall of smokes. They got the bomb down a number of times and ended up in a number of 1v1s or 2v2s, but ultimately they couldn't pull through, and we just sort of ended up grinding out the rounds, and that was pretty much it. So really tough start for compLexity. And if you look at overall, they are, I suppose, the team that we sort of expect the least out of in this group. Even I think even Gambit you'd have to put higher.
Absolutely.
So it must be a big learning experience for them here, and considering how new the team is, that's really, I think, reasonable actually.
That's the thing.
But let's see what they can do on the second half here, because they do have a lot of guns, and Envy, who got the bomb plant down, I believe, haven't invested too much.
No, they're definitely going to be setting up to buy in the next round. But that's it. I mean, you know, you have to put things in perspective. compLexity, this roster, it's very new. And so they really just don't have a whole lot of experience. It's a bit of a tall order to expect them to come in here against one of the better teams in the world and win, right? So now sometimes it feels a little cheap to say that, like, oh, they're just getting land experience, guys. But like, really, this is exactly what's happening with compLexity. They're just trying to figure out the kinks. This is excellent experience for them as well, because if you get your head caved in by Envy, well, then you have a good idea, right? Okay, you can see pretty clearly what's happening. It's not totally random.
Yeah, and I think that kind of experience affects different people in different ways, right? Some people will think there's no way we will ever be this good. There's such a high level above us that we need to make roster changes, we need better players, this is never going to work out. And other people, it's motivational, you know, you think, okay, that's a level that we should try and hit then. You know, now we know where if not the top mark, then at least what it could look like, right? MBK Going for a bit of a peek there, playing around with the Deagle against Whitmer, who seems to be very unimpressed for the moment. He's taking a little bit of damage, and he's going to go down. Kenny picking up the kill, and Apex taking down Def. Sanks showing up. Seems to be, if anything needs to be done here, maybe Sanks trying to do it. And if he could have got that grenade out, I think he could have got the kill on Kenny as well. It's still a 2-on-2, but the bomb is down, and this is way too much of an expensive round coming out of compLexity. Surreal picking up a second kill for himself, but Happy's up here. He's got the Molotov, and he's going to put it down. They don't have a kit picked up. The follow-up grenade as well. This is a disaster. Oh, no. I think it's actually bought enough time. They're going to get the kill here, but hunting for the kit. Surreal picked one up. I think he may just have it. Wow, that's scary. Yeah. That Molotov could have screwed everything up. If he hadn't found the kit right there, if it had been a couple of feet further back, who knows?
That's, again, these close sort of situations, compLexity keep coming through. It's exactly what happened at the beginning of the first half as well with NBK. NBK was the last man alive in those scenarios, trying to win it out for Envy. It's just that compLexity, at the beginning at least, they're actually able to pull it off. They're actually able to make it work. And so they will extend this first map rather between these two teams. 5 rounds for compLexity, 12 for Envy. And well, it's just a tough call for Happy. I mean, he obviously doesn't know that one of them is low 19 HP, for example. These sorts of things, right? So he just gets the nades out there and he hopes for the best. Happy, he's going to start off strong. Takes out Whitmer, who was trying to lurk his way into Pop Dog. That's not going to work. Now, Surreal might be able to dunk a nade on the Devil, but there's still just like this full default setup here for EnVyUs, and they're going to be able to press all points on this A site.
Well, with that kind of an opening, 2 for none. Finally, Surreal coming in and taking out Apex, which is important. I thought maybe Envy would try and speed up behind that kill. It looked like they were in position for it, but once the smoke is about to clear here, they are going to jump their way through. Android right next to NBK, who does have the bomb, and he's going to go down with that bomb. That's a lot of confirmation here for compLexity. They should start rotating people, and you can see Def is already making his way over from the B-bomb site. It is a 3-on-3 here with still 50 seconds left.
That's going to fall apart because nobody's in position to actually back each other here on EnVyUs' side. This is actually horrible. Devil will be able to turn it around. He picks up 2 big kills. He still has time to go and pick that bomb up. And he's actually just going to be looking for the one man. He's going to be looking the wrong way. Not going to win the duel. Tries to go for the 180 shot, but Def will be able to pull through there. Still, there's just Envy. Like, nobody was in a position to get a refrag at any point in time in that round. Apex ran out alone. Nobody there to back him. NBK runs out alone. And it's just, all compLexity have to do is just catch them off guard. And then it's Def catching him off guard. I mean, it's just really, that was an awkward round coming in from Envy.
It was, and they don't get a bomb plant, so not exactly great. The one thing they do succeed in here is keeping the economy very low. No one on compLexity has over $1,000 right now, and that's after winning, 3 rounds in a row, and that's a really big problem here. So now that Envy don't have armor and just have pistols, this is where they need to start building a real bank for themselves. They got to come out of this round with a lot of money. Maybe Surreal could be sacrificed with that MP7, but apart from that, they need all the money they can get.
Yeah, preferably get Surreal in a position where he's going to be able to spray some people down. He's holding at alley right now, so if EnVyUs were going for like a standard A take with 3 guys towards alley, he'd be in a pretty decent mood. He'd be able to pick up a couple kills over there. Instead, he's going to have to rotate onto this B site because it looks like Envy, with the help of NBK, yeah, there's the call to go, and they're just going to start rushing out. Whitmer, though, is going to catch them all coming down the lower ramp. Sprays down 3. Happy is full blind, can't really get into the fight. NBK will catch out Whitmer, but then Def and Sanks with the final 2 kills. There you go, Anders. They deliver perfect, pretty much perfect. I mean, they lose 1 man, but it's not the end of the world because they actually save his M4. Surreal rotated in, drops the MP7, picks up the M4, so almost cost them nothing that round.
Yeah, I could be all right with that. I think that's a good way to get started here now. The scoreline is 12-7, but I mean, that's only a 5-round gap. That doesn't seem too bad. We still have to reflect on the idea that Envy won all these 12 rounds without any sort of a gap. So you're all the time thinking right now, surely any moment now they're going to pick up the pace here on the T side. There is a bit of a push going down. Ivy, in fact. And Def is the one leading the charge. Happy going to headshot him. Looked like it could have been a read frag there. Surreal doing a lot of damage, but not actually getting a kill. Kenny and Happy both low.
Surprised it's taking quite so much time. I mean, Happy is now stuck behind the corner over at A main. Still, the rotation is going to come out. Surreal tries to make his way back towards that A site, but Apex is now lurking on the edge of this smoke. Somehow he gets into position to deny the bomb plant, though. Apex will finally be able to shut him down. We're into a 3-on-3 somehow. It looked like this situation should have really heavily favored Envy, but compLexity, if they fought back. And now they're in the lead.
Whitmer seems to be almost a little bit angry right now, just looking for these kills, and that's the kind of anger you want to dig really deep into right now. He's got the double, looking for a bit more. I think he may have even spotted that player out with a jump there. Happy and Apex left, and Sanks coming in from popdog. Is going to leave Happy entirely alone here. 45 seconds left, and the bomb is out on the site, so looks like compLexity are about to make an 8th round here. Don't see any way that Happy can really turn this 8 and 12.
Not sure if you guys could hear that, but Mr. Lake is watching the game, the owner of compLexity. So he definitely likes to get hype, watches good CS, known for that, a lot of shouting.
Yeah, who said video games is just for kids, right?
There he is, with the red tie.
4-round difference now, and EnVy, no bomb plant means they're back to pistols. They do have Happy on the AK, bought that. So pretty much a big investment into this round for EnVy. I think they know that they keep doing the economic damage, so they want to keep the pressure up. And that's the style that we're used to seeing from EnVy, although yesterday they weren't applying it that much. They were playing a much safer, much slower style. This time it's a lot of speed down towards Ivy, and they do trade initially. Android picking up a good shot there. Kenny very low on health, and he should have been down already. Sanks missing the spray a bit, and he's going to go down to Happy, and that might actually have been a really big deal there. Now it's a 2-on-3.
That's the key kill right there. Happy picking off the man holding on the site itself. Now his teammate should be able to set up a perimeter around the... Oh, that's such a shame. It catches the lip on that bomb train. That would have been a dead Kenny. Instead, it's still that man advantage now for EnVy, and they're going to be able to catch a man out. Whitmer on the edge of the smoke. Def tries to step out into the open. He's looking for the kill, but he swaps out to a nade at the worst possible time. Happy peeks right into him. And so 3 players survived the round there for EnVy, going in, well, giving them a 13th round. You can see the frustration clear there on Def's face as well. He's just like, you know, what can you do? You just swap to a nade. You don't think he's going to re-peek you. Problem is that the guy's in a 3 versus 1, so he's just thinking, right, I can peek this guy because I still have 2 teammates alive to just guarantee the round.
And now here we see the sort of the work that EnVy have done, right? Because it's a good streak of rounds coming in for compLexity, but they lose even the 1, and they're back to pistols. So they have upgraded them. We got 4, 5, 7s. Android having to be the odd man out this time.
Still, balance exists, right? He's framed by 5-7s. NBK trimming the herd a little bit here. Devil's going to find Surreal. Devil actually managing to back out of there just in the nick of time. So no possible follow-up here from Sanks, unfortunately for him. He had the Kevlar as well, so well, picking up a gun would have been great, and he actually will be able to do this. Can run back over there. He doesn't know if anybody's waiting on the other side of that smoke, so that's a little unfortunate. Won't be able to pick up that AK. Walks right into Happy and NBK, and NBK will actually get the kill. 3 for him so far in this anti-eco.
Good damage being output, but Kenny's still going to win the fight. Didn't need to take that peek. He could have just, you know, 100% lived, but either way, EnVy 2 rounds away from running away with Train here. Now they have the money, compLexity. And this is probably the only chance they're going to get to turn this this sinking ship around, because it is looking a little bit tough right now. Yeah, they don't have any money after this kind of a buy. Sanks has got 20 kills, which is pretty impressive if you look at it. The rest of his team is at 12 the most, so he's sort of 8 kills ahead of anybody else on his team, and only 2 behind Devil and NBK, so he's putting up a really good fight right now.
It's the rest of his team right now that need to kind of come through. Sanks has also had some pretty, well, clutch plays, at least in the first round of the map on that T pistol for compLexity. Sanks got the triple kill and locked down the round for him. So I mean, he's definitely delivering, at least at the beginning. NBK goes for the shoulder pick, spots Def. Def is gonna be able to back off just in time. And in the meantime, alley control is kind of getting set up here for EnVy. Kenny has the angle, but that smoke goes down. Whitmer gonna be blocked off. Kenny hoping to be able to catch him out. And a couple of shots going through. Thing is, I believe Whitmer should be fast enough to be able to pick up a flick like that if he sees Kenny, if he spots him out. And the smoke goes down, flash to follow. Whitmer going to have to give ground. And in the meantime, there's an aggressive push at A main for compLexity. So this is all over the place. Where, with 50 seconds left here, where are EnVy going to go?
Surreal and Android, are they going to actually make anything of it? Because if they just stay there for a long time, might be a bit of trouble for Whitmer if they are going to come out of Pop Dog as well. Happy waiting patiently. Whitmer letting one guy get past initially. A quick trade, Surreal for Devil, and a lot of damage being put in there. Finally, they take out Apex, but it's still a 2-on-2 here. Whitmer close range, Kenny right on the other side. I don't think he realizes yet the flashbang. He turns around for it, but the no-scope not going to connect. That was a quick reaction from Whitmer, but it still wasn't enough. The bomb is going to be going down, and Sanks now 1 versus 2. He doesn't have a kit and no grenades. Oh, still a great headshot. Oh, what a follow-up. Look at that. That even started with him baiting out the shot from Kenny, and then he follows it up with that absolutely solid play here, preventing the map point from Envy. Instead, it's going to be 9-14.
Sick work from Sanks. That's another clutch going complexity's way. And it's almost, I mean, this is what is making the difference. It's almost like watching Envy versus VP yesterday, where it's just like Envy just kept winning clutch after clutch. It kept drawing the game out, never allowed VP to just end it. And we're kind of having a similar scenario here, where it's Sanks who's just like, nope, we're not done yet. We're still going to go in. 1v2 clutch for him, keeps his team in it. 14-9. Envy still in the lead and still have enough money to go for a buy, although it's a little bit wonky. You have the Mac 10 picked up on Apex, Devil with the Tech 9. But man, Envy right now, they're getting a bit of a confidence check. And this is so important that Complexity continue to pick up rounds like this. I mean, if they can pick up a map somewhere, that'd be even better.
Yeah, but like I also said, when they go back to the drawing board and they look at all these rounds here, they're going to have a lot more to look at. What worked, what doesn't work. This is really, really good information. Oh, that shot coming through from NBK, but also I think the grenade that landed from Kenny doing a lot of damage to Surreal. It's still a 3-on-3. Happy up to his old tricks, flashing his way through the smoke and shooting one guy in the back. Sanks turning around and getting the kill, but he's going to go down to NBK, and now all on Def with a UMP as well. He gets a headshot taking down one, but he just realized that Kenny right on the other side, he's going to try for a flick. He does bait out the shot. They're quite good at doing this. There's some really good fundamental Counter-Strike coming in here from many of the Complexity players right now, but still, Kenny has a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, a full minute to sit and wait. And so he's perfectly content to just... Right now, Def doesn't know if Kenny backed off to the back line, basically, to try and make it around towards that B site. So he has to be worried about Kenny just camping out. And now it's going to start seeping in that, wait, he can be anywhere on the map now. He could have backed out through alley, could be coming through main, behind me.
I think Kenny saw him. So he has a good idea where Def is right now.
They keep avoiding each other just like split second. And now Kenny's going to start making his move. He's going to start working up onto the site. Little does he know, Def is still camping here, and they're almost going to trade positions. Def could actually trade out for the M4. He's got better firepower. Not sure if Kenny could have heard that, but he's right on the edge, and he's actually just going to say, enough is enough. I don't know where this guy is on the A site. I'm going to make the run to B. He's only got 10 seconds to make it with, though.
So, good little move, good movement coming out of Kenny there. The bomb is going to be down. Def, though, is he going to be able to do this? He's got the smoke, so if he doesn't get killed by Kenny straight away here, he's trying for the shoulder peek a little bit. He finally mans up and goes for the kill, or goes for the jump at least. Grenade out, and Kenny survives. If that grenade had hit him, maybe that would have been it. Could have been interesting. 15-9. Def trying his very best. I mean, that's a hard 1v1 for anyone to play. The fact that he moves away from the grenade, just enough that it doesn't tag him up. It'll be 9-15.
And now it really takes some like heroics from Sanks or something to turn things around here for Complexity. You can see they just don't have any money. Pistols, Kevlar, couple of nades, that's all they have to work with here versus a fully bought up Envy. So we should be looking at the first map getting picked up here for Envy, barring a massive mistake on their part. Complexity trying to play some games though. They put 3 guys on B early on. So in case Envy wanted to go for the aggro rush onto B site, Complexity would have had a little bit of a trap set. And instead, it's Envy just putting Apex out first through A main. Out onto that A site, looking to create some space, and Happy's going to take advantage of it. Finds the pick on Android.
Oh, well, Whitmer, that's how it's done. Double deagle kill just like that. And now Kenny trying to see if he could find his position. He's going to move in with the AWP. Looked like that could have been a kill. Whitmer, I'm not sure he realized how close to death he was. He's looking for the feet there. But he's still alive back there with that dreaded deagle now. There will be Def taking a kill, and Surreal as well, leaving Devil alone in a 1-on-2 with 4 health. Whitmer finally going to be going down, and Surreal, CSET 75, definitely the best pistol there for it, and that's going to be a double kill for him as well. Complexity picking up a round and putting Envy, apart from Kenny, in a very weird spot economically.
This is just getting so silly. I'm watching Envy, and I'm watching just a lot of like 1v1s again. and they aren't really moving out onto the side, trying to pressure, trying to just crush the defense, right? Apex and Happy, they create some space by taking out Android. Why aren't they just like pouncing on that and getting in their face? Instead, it's just this very slow pace that's being set by Envy. And when you got a guy with the Deagle just ripping your head off, that's all it takes is a couple of headshots coming in from the Deagle, and all of a sudden the round is close. So Envy, I mean, now Envy are the ones who actually have to go for a bit of a weird buy. It's a hero op picked up here by Kenny.
Yeah, but he had 8,000, so actually he could just buy next round anyway. He still got a decent economy, so pretty good bank on him. Def and Sanks are right down there. What do they have to defend with right now? The P90 and a lot of grenades on Sanks, and especially that Molotov is going to be key. NBK moving his way in, looking for a headshot with a Deagle, not connecting with anyone just yet. That grenade actually going to fail, not do any damage at all, so a little bit of a misplaced nade coming out. Looks like they are sneaking their way down. If they could get the bomb plant and keep Kenny alive, that would be big, but it's not going to happen. Def taking down 2 more kills, and Sanks also with a shot on MBK.
The problem with this AWP, what can he actually hope to do? He can't be a part of the push, where you just want to throw bodies at the site. He has to sit and wait and hope that he's going to be able to pick something, but now it's just Happy all by his lonesome. An MP9 has been gifted to him. Fantastic. And Def is just going to spray him down long range with the P90. So 3 kills for Def. And there were easy kills as well. Again, and Envy just running out one at a time onto that site. If you're sitting there with a P90, you're just giggling. Whitmer will catch Kenny. So, I mean, Kenny, yeah, his role there is to just kind of anchor the connector. But by the time the rotation actually comes in from that A site, it's already over. He's lost both of his teammates, and he's lost NBK on high as well. So not a very solid round coming out there for Envy, and so it's a half buy coming out for them this time around. No bomb plant, so no buy. They just decide to invest in some Tech 9s, and really, yeah, just go for the straight up YOLO rush at this point. Just run at something, and don't stop. Don't go in one at a time. Just run.
We are lacking a little bit of that Envy spirit, but at least it seems like they have decided to go for it. Def is going to be putting up a Molotov to try and keep them back. That P90 only getting the 1 kill this time, and they are still pushing up. Devil did get tagged. Good shot from Whitmer, in fact, to keep him low, and both him and MBK are going to end up falling. They did get a bomb plant this round, Envy, but winning the round is a different matter at this point in time, and Happy sneaking in from behind. Same as it ever was. Sanks with a triple.
Same as it ever was. And I'm like, as soon as they kill everybody, they just look straight at the connector like, we know where Happy's coming from. Just that's how it goes. Still, I mean, a great fight being put up here by compLexity.
We have Jason Lane there. We also have Swindle Melons from the Dota 2 roster. They're not doing too badly, the compLexity Dota 2 team. I don't know if you've been following that, but since I used to play a lot of HON, I've been keeping up with what Swindle Melons is up to. We have the 28th round coming up here, and tell me, what happens if Envy lose to an American team?
That's why I'm wearing these colors. I can just go.
I know.
American. I can go Brit. For Def and all. I can go Brit as well. Easy.
I know. Young Moses would be excited. Certainly, always on the American side, of course. And Whitmer picking up a good kill there on NBK, so that makes it a 4 versus 5 at a very good start. And Envy, are they going to try and run boost their way out here, or just try and go for a peek? Not a bad idea. I mean, why not try and peek at a different angle? Don't see any way you could run boost out from there. But Envy did try and do it a couple of times yesterday on Cash, which was fun.
Yeah, that seemed to be like a core part of their strategy, oddly enough. Just launch Apex across the map, basically, and see if he can find anything. We're starting to see it more on Catwalk Dust, too, as well. A lot of teams are just kind of launching their teammate across Catwalk towards Gandalf. Still, man advantage for compLexity. Happy, lurking, as always. And now the rotation is coming out towards that B site. Happy's going to have to hit that timing, and he may be able to actually catch some people off guard. Decides to go towards the back line, and so he is literally dodging everybody at this point. And losing his teammates to boot. Kenny is now the only man, the anchor on this B site. He has to hold the line until Happy can show up and get that backstab coming in. Kenny with another shot, and Happy spots the mana connector. Now he's going to go ahead and localize the one who's on the site itself, and this is perfectly done here. Happy not going to be able to lock it down, and Surreal nearly picks off Kenny through the smoke. Kenny no Kevlar either, so he just has so little HP to work with, but another Kenny clutch comes through for Envy, and that's going to end it. 16-12, the final score. But Envy, they had to work for it. compLexity putting up one hell of a fight.
Sanks being tied for top frags with Kenny, both of them 28 kills now. I've got to say, I think if he had more bullets then, if he didn't have to reload, Kenny might have been dead, because he was just spraying into that smoke. So 3-4 more bullets, and that would have been the end of it. 16-12, Envy, they win.